Guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here as always to keep you posted on the transfer market. Several stories, several news, many things to say as always. Less than 1 week to go for the end of this transfer window, and so let's jump into it together. And here we are, guys, as always, to keep you updated, as always, with all the latest. And let me start with the here we go, because Douglas Luiz is leaving Nottingham Forest, going back to Juventus, and new loan will be at Aston Villa. It's a here we go, it's a done deal. Chelsea last week tried to explore the conditions of the deal for Douglas Luiz in contact with Juventus, but Chelsea only wanted to do a straight loan, not even a buy option clause included. Straight loan, almost for free, just as a fourth midfielder in their squad, with Sugo and Lavia currently out, so not being a crucial part of the project, but just a backup option. And at that point, they were not convinced to proceed under the conditions wanted by Juventus. So this is why the deal didn't advance between Douglas Luiz, Juventus, and Chelsea. Chelsea are exploring different options. So Chelsea are still in the midfielders market, still exploring options around, but at the moment it's very clear that Douglas Luiz is not going there. Douglas Luiz is going back to Aston Villa. He really wanted to go back to Aston Villa. Already last week, I told you, Aston Villa and Chelsea. Then Aston Villa didn't proceed because they didn't feel that at that time it was really the move needed, the one for Douglas Luiz. But then, after the injury for Boubacar Kamara, also injury for Yuri Tillemans, and so Villa this week returned in talks for Douglas Luiz. Is a loan deal with an option to buy clause. Everything agreed also with the player, who is excited to return to Aston Villa, to have the opportunity to work again under Unai Emery, and so done deal for Douglas Luiz to join Aston Villa from Juventus. More to say, guys, when you ask me about midfielders, it's about Fermín López, because I told you about the negotiations, Fermin, Barcelona, over new contract. Well, new contract is now done, agreed for Fermín López at Barcelona. It will be signed very soon, improved salary, higher release clause. Is going to be an impossible release clause, and Fermín López set to put pen to paper positive meetings between Stellar, the agency of Fermín López, and Barcelona, and deal now in place for Fermín López to sign a new contract at Barça. All agreed with Deco. Is going to be valid until June 2031. And Barça believed that the player deserved this new contract and the better salary after his fantastic season, but also after last summer. He was not convinced about leaving Barça, despite Chelsea offering important money and the opportunity to go to the Premier League. Chelsea have always been around Fermín López, already 1 year ago, January 2025, then at the end of the summer transfer window, then always remaining around the player because they love Fermín López, but from Barça, the answer has been clear. New contract to the player. Just to close something on Chelsea, guys, I wanted to mention also the situation of Jérémy Jacquet, because Chelsea remain absolutely in the conversation for this talented French defender from Rennes. So it's a big battle, trust me. All these clubs are talking to the players' camp and talking to Rennes to understand what can they do. Chelsea made progress 2 weeks ago on player side. In terms of numbers for the contract, Chelsea are already in advanced conversations, but not yet with Rennes. Remember that Rennes want to keep the player in this January window and let him go in the summer. But again, let's see what happens in these days, because Liverpool are trying, because Chelsea are trying, and because Bayern are trying only for the summer. For Bayern, Jérémy Jacquet is an opportunity, as was Marguehi, because they wanted to replace Kim Min-jae, who could probably leave the club in the summer transfer window. So for Bayern, the opportunity to go for Jacquet is only for the summer. Chelsea and Liverpool would love to do the business now, but Rennes insist to sell the player, eventually now, for the summer, not for January. So Chelsea, Liverpool and Bayern all in the conversations with Rennes and with players' camp. So let's see what's going to happen there, but for sure it's a big battle for one of the most talented defenders around Europe. And then let's jump into strikers, guys. Because, first of all, Juventus are trying to make something happen around Randall Kolo Muani. Juventus are trying because they feel that Kolo Muani could be open to leaving Tottenham in these final days of the window, but at the moment Juventus don't have a green light from Tottenham. Juventus are still waiting to understand if Tottenham decide to let Kolo Muani leave the club or not. Remember that Kolo Muani is on loan from Paris Saint-Germain to Tottenham. So it's on Spurs to decide what they want to do with this loan. And then eventually Juventus had to negotiate with PSG after a very difficult relationship following what happened last summer, when Juventus spent basically 3 months negotiating with PSG for Kolo Muani, and then on deadline day the deal collapsed and Juventus signed Openda from Red Bull Leipzig. So Juventus remain absolutely keen on Kolo Muani. They want to try. They know it's very difficult, it's very complicated, but they want to try. So let's see what's going to happen there. Depends, again, first on what Tottenham want to do, and at the moment there is no green light, and then on PSG. Then on strikers, guys. Endrick. Many questions if Endrick can stay at Olympique Lyon also next season. The start of his career at Lyon has been unbelievable. 5 goal contributions, an hat-trick already delivered. Endrick is doing fantastic, for sure. But what I wanted to tell you is that from Real Madrid, the message is very clear. Endrick is part of our future. Endrick is part of Real Madrid project. And this was the message from Real Madrid even before he went on loan to Olympique Lyon. So they were like, Endrick will go on loan because he has to develop, he has to play, he wants to play, and it's absolutely okay. But then he's going to be part of the long-term project. And it's not about the coach. Real Madrid as a club want Endrick to be part of their project. So, for sure, Olympique Lyon will try at the end of the season to keep Endrick, it's very normal. But I'm also sure that Real Madrid count on Endrick and see Endrick as part of their project. So now, let the player play, let the player be part of his project at Olympique Lyon, let the player deliver goals, assists and fantastic performances, and then we will have plenty of time to see what's going to happen. But what I can guarantee is that Real Madrid are not considering Endrick as a player on loan because he's out of the project, are considering Endrick as a player on loan because he's developing and improving to be a future Real Madrid player. And then, just to close, guys, on many questions I'm receiving from Napoli and Man United fans on Rasmus Højlund situation, remember that Man United already received 6 million euros loan fee. 6. Plus, they have a buy option clause included in the contract with Napoli, which becomes an obligation if Napoli qualify to the next Champions League group stages, for 44 million euros. So a potential package of 50 million euros for Rasmus Højlund. At the moment, the message, guys, is very clear. Between Højlund and Manchester United, the story is considered over. Man United want to receive the money. Man United believe that Napoli at the end, with or without this clause, will still go and sign Rasmus Højlund on a permanent transfer. Man United feel that the player will be a Napoli player, also because they feel Rasmus Højlund already feels he's going to be a Napoli player. He's not a player from Man United on loan. This is what the player believes. This is what those close to Rasmus Højlund believe. And so this is what Manchester United also feel. Man United want the money. Man United trust that those 50 million euros package, 6 already received, 44 obligation, are going to be part of their budget for the summer, and of course important money to reinvest. And so, guys, let me hear your thoughts on all these stories from Højlund to Kolo Muani, and then Endrick, Lyon, Real Madrid, Fermín López, Jérémy, Jacquet, where should he go? Liverpool, Chelsea, and Bayern involved, and then Douglas Luiz. Your feeling, guys, here in the comments. Remember to like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel. See you soon.